What's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back here at Rosie's Corner for a Fish Friday. Stop in, grab that, your mac and cheese, coleslaw, french fries, you name it, plus the pizza wing combinations. It smells incredible in here. Don't forget about the lasagna, the stuffed shells, the meatball bomber. Try the Gold Fever wings, the garlic parms, all the salads in the cooler, all the products in terms of the drinks, the snacks to go with your hot and cold subs. It's all here at Rosie's Corner, Route 11 in Brewerton, in front of the Brewerton Bridge, if you are in and around Central New York. I'm of the belief, and I'm trying not to live as a prisoner of the moment, but I'm of the belief that we have come to a point that it has never been harder to win a national championship in men's basketball. Think about the layers of what it takes to win. First of all, if it weren't this parity driven, you still in the tournament format, win today and move on, lose today and go home. You're playing in different regions, arenas, against different teams and systems and coaches and players and schematic stuff and different assistants preparing and different video to look at. And, you know, what you see out of a team in February going into March and conference tournaments and the tournament isn't even close to what you see in November and December. That's why you hear a lot of people say, I don't even watch college basketball until after December. For people who cover it, it's not quite that simple, of course, but just think about that by itself. Now, today, we've got NIL, name, image, and likeness. We've got the transfer portal, which has completely thrown college basketball for a loop. I mean, and part of it, too, is that the power programs, despite the fact that you don't have a Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Anthony Davis, Kentucky type of roster back in 2011-12, or a UConn roster, in 03-04 with the likes of Emeka Okafor and Ben Gordon and all those great players. You know, if the big-time teams don't stack their rosters with big-time stars, they're going to have to also do the NIL. They're going to have to do transfer portal. But again, it's a collection of guys, and then you're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen. How do you recruit in college basketball these days? My goodness, are you recruiting for 1 year? Are you recruiting to try and get 3 guys to stay for 2 years? With the advanced knowledge that you're going to have to dip into the transfer portal, it's brutal. And even some of those big-time teams that go through bad years this year, look at North Carolina. North Carolina had all their guys. They came in as a preseason favorite. Never before have we had that high of a preseason favorite where they dropped that far and then they didn't make it the NCAA tournament. But now, they've got Baycott, one of the best players in college basketball, coming in. But who cares? Because who's going to play the guards and the wings and they're here and there? They don't even know right now. They've got a great center. They've got a great piece coming back. But who else is on the roster? You don't know. And if a big-time team is able to go and just write the checks and buy teams or whatever, like Jim Boeheim was saying there earlier this year. But there is some seriousness to this. Even if they have a down year here, down year there, and, then they can actually find, think about a Kentucky and Michigan State, all these programs. Think about actually being able to do it where they would just entice so many great players to come in. Sometimes now you're getting a team, that's a name, trademark, big brand program. You're getting somebody who's been there now, players for 2 or 3 years, and so that can happen as well. So then it makes it even harder for the smaller guy if the big guys can figure it out. But we have not seen the big guys figure it out more than the middle to low end guys in terms of the NIL and the transfer portal. You're seeing that right now in college basketball. That's why I'm so impressed with Gonzaga being back in the Elite Eight. That is a team that really has been recruited. A lot of grassroots stuff there. You got Drew Timme there. Strother's a great player. Mark Few has just built an absolute juggernaut out there in Washington. You're seeing the likes of some power teams not be in the tournament, and then you have others, get in, but then they're out early, like a Duke. You're seeing right now, football schools kind of becoming a little bit of basketball schools with Alabama and company. Miami has been in it here. So I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to work moving forward. The mid-major programs, depending on the league you're in, you lose guys for sure. You're going to lose them with the NIL and the transfer portal, but you also by nature know that guys are going to be looking for new opportunities and looking to transfer so you can get players. The question becomes, how well will they mold? How well will they gel together? And that is not unlike, any power trademark programs in college basketball. all going through the exact same thing. The Arizonas, the Michigan States, the Kentuckys, the Kansases, they're all going through the same thing. Kansas is out. Kansas has been out after they lost to Arkansas, and Arkansas obviously got smoked by UConn last night. So all these teams, it doesn't matter the brand, it doesn't matter the conference, it doesn't matter mid-major, Power 5, it just doesn't matter. Everybody's going through it. And with all of those things on top of the original challenges in college basketball, the parity when there isn't a dynamic, blow-away team like a Tiger or the Field kind of team. Think 04-05 Carolina, think 03-04 UConn, think, 11-12 Kentucky. Those kind of teams, unless the power teams figure out the portal and the NIL, coupled with the amazing facilities and the amazing head coach and the amazing recruiting of the assistants and all the rest, the amazing arena, the history, right, of the program, all the stuff that might matter, getting to the NBA. If they don't figure it out, then, it's going to be parity driven no matter what. And if they do figure it out, it's going to be parity driven because they figure it out, but can they win the games? And, oh, by the way, if they can get people, now it's harder to beat them, as opposed to if they come down a little bit, then there's a couple teams over here, mid to low Power 5 that maybe can rise up, or some mid-majors who can rise up. So you got to deal with one end of the spectrum or the other. It's difficult. It's almost impossible to win a national championship right now. It's the hardest. I'm telling you, between that and the Super Bowl, I think they're the hardest things. That's the difference between NHL, NBA, MLB. You get in the playoffs, you have 2 bad games at home, a lot of pressure, whatever. You go on the road and win 3 in a row. And then, you could lose game 1, your game 2 starter shuts him down, boom, you got the momentum back. Your goalie maybe steals a game. Not the case in the NCAA tournament, not the case in the NFL playoffs. You win today, move on. You lose today, and go home. So I don't think it's ever been harder to win a men's college basketball championship than right now. Get into Rosie's Corner. Fish Friday, baby. Mac and cheese, coleslaw, and french fries. Meatball bombers available. Hot and cold subs, of course, across the board. Lasagna, stuffed shells, your fried shrimp. All the amazing, amazing food here at Rosie's Corner. Try the garlic parm wings. Try the gold fever wings. Of course, they've got your teriyaki, your honey barbecue, all sorts of different flavors here. They're in the double digits there. So make sure you get your pizza wing combos all day as well. Rosie's Corner, Route 11, here in front of the Burton Bridge. If you're in and around Central New York, a proud ML Sports Platter sponsor. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.